I want you to think of a number between 0 to 100 and tell me the percentage that you think is single income today in America in 2025 because back in the 60s, it was actually close to 60%. And today, that statistic has fallen to 15. 15. I know, that's crazy. But actually, it's not because this world that we live in is so expensive. It's become actually impossible to have a single income family where one person can stay home and one person can work. Instead, we content create, Uber, try to get a higher paying job, get into debt for student loans, and it's a absolute bummer. So today I want to tell you how you can afford to stay home because I care. And so you can finally get enough time with your children that you've been craving, or maybe you're planning to have a child and thinking ahead. Either way, I'm here to help and I'm super excited. Let's get into it. I'm a stay at home mom. I have been since 2021. I'm finally dipping my toes into part time work. And let me just tell you, it's been some of the best experiences of my life. But as I know about all the things I have acquired in my knowledge about personal finance, we got to be strategic. So I hope you don't hear this list and just go off into Wonderland, but I hope that you actually consider these things that we're going to talk about today, even just one of them, so you can have your dream of staying at home because it has actually been one of the best decisions I have ever made. Okay, let's get into it. First thing you have to do is find your why. Finding your why is so critical because when things get tough and you have deflated your lifestyle and you're looking at all the other things that people are doing, you are going to want to have a strong why so you can keep with it. Okay. It's very, very important. Some reasons you might want to stay home, you want to spend time with your kids. Listen, they say that a person who stays at home with their child for the entire life of their children have about 10,000 more hours with their kids. That's insane. But even if you wanted to stay home for just a couple years, all those hours are so precious to children. So I've heard that it's basically between the years 0 and 3, and then the teenager years that are actually the most important, but all that time is important, let's be real. Maybe you want to slow down the pace of your life. You're sick of the hustle and bustle. You can barely catch your breath. You can barely fit in a workout or a healthy meal. And you're just ready to not be in the rat race and be there with your kids slowly. This is amazing. This is one of the main reasons I went for sure. It was definitely health related, but also happiness related. Okay. And there are some bad reasons. When you're finding your why, you don't want it to be a shallow reason because it's not going to stick when you're having a lot of regret or you look at your retirement accounts and they're not what they would have been if you had kept working. So, a lot of she thinks I should, or he said this about me. I really would not let other people's opinions, especially ones that don't matter, influence what you're going to do. Now, whether you have a married partner, maybe a domestic partner, or even you're a single parent, but you have support from a mother or a parental figure or whoever, of course you want their opinion, but everybody else, skip it. And another bad reason might be, well, I'm gonna say flip them because PG, but it's really fun to say, screw it, I'm gonna just stay at home and blah 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 blah. But if you don't have a plan and it's sort of this cathartic feeling in your heart, it's not gonna carry you through the place that you want to be. Really, it's just not gonna work. So I'm just gonna tell you, have a good reason. Don't make it a crappy reason. Write it down because it's going to be worth it. For me, my reasons are very obvious. I want to wake up slowly with my kids. I want to spend lots of time with them. I want to ensure that they have the values of our family. And honestly, I really was never meant for the fluorescent bulb 9 to 5 culture. So I'm hoping to build my business online. But even if I don't and I never make a cent, I will never regret living below my means and not having all the extra special things in life because being with my kids is better. Okay, next. Build your financial buffer. Yay, my favorite part. Okay, what you want to do is have an emergency fund, Dave Ramsey style. I'm talking about those step 3, emergency fund 3 to 6 months of expenses. But my friend, if you go down a single income, I hate to tell you this because it's going to be hard for you, but you need to have more like 6 than 3. Now, if you have 2 incomes, The probability of both of you losing your jobs is less than one. But if you have one single income and for some reason that income goes away, you're in a tough spot. So you need more buffer. And that might seem like impossible in today's economy, but consider having, let me just say it like this, consider having an emergency fund that is challenging but doable for you. You want to have the buffer, or maybe you come into some sort of inheritance, maybe you sell something that's of high value like a car, so you can have it that buffer, okay? Step 2, debt plan payoff. Now, I'm never going to tell a person to not have kids because of debt. But if your debt payoff plan with one income is going to stretch out further than 3 years, I would really reconsider because you do not want to be paying your debts indefinitely. I don't know your debt situation. I don't know how bad it is. I personally think that most people could pay off their debts with a plan. And as long as you're happy with that plan, that's fine. But you don't want to go into staying at home with just nothing at all because you're going to feel the heat 3, 6, 9, 12 months down. And it's going to be brutal. Finances usually do not do rich, quick schemes. It's usually a trajectory that you find yourself veering off course or getting back on course very slowly over time. So one day you're going to wake up and be upset with yourself. If it takes you more than 3 years, think again. And finally, you want to talk about your retirement. The retirement question is interesting because some people have like a minimalist perspective. They're going to do Social Security, maybe they have a little bit of a nest egg, but it's not going to be anything out of control. And my kids are screaming at each other, so I will be taking a momentarily break. Yay. Okay, there was a thrown Barbie dollhouse and some hitting, but everybody's in their own corners now, hopefully sleeping during their quiet time, and my mother's helper comes in an hour, so yay, staying at home with your kids. It's all rainbows and butterflies. Anyway, retirement question. Okay, some people have a minimal retirement. They don't mind just living off Social Security or having a nest egg that they live off of, maybe 300,000 or whatever. And it's not much, but it's doable. And so they don't save as much for retirement as other people, but it's still okay. In my case, I'm very lucky. My husband's in the military, so he's going to have some sort of pension that's half of his pay for most of the rest of his life. So we're good. But some people might want to have a cushy retirement. So this is another thing that you need to consider for yourself and with a partner about and whoever's raising your kids with you, that having a lavish lifestyle in your retirement years might affect the way that you can take care of your kids. And so it's more important for you to work through these years and provide for your kids' as colleges and weddings and your grandkids. Maybe that's your tract, and you're like, I'm not going to stay at home because I'm focused on my kids bettering themselves and I'm just going to stay at home with my grandkids or spoil my grandkids. That's a great plan. Don't knock that plan, okay? But discuss it. Discuss it, okay? And finally, we're going to make a plan, Stan. I don't know why we say make a plan, Stan, but we do. So that's what's in my slide. Write it down. Write down the who, what, when, where, and why. Who's going to stay home for how long? Where are you guys going to be at living? And what's the living situation? And most importantly, what? Like, what will you be doing with the babies? Do you want to have room to go on excursions and vacations? Are you going to homeschool? Do the curriculums and the whole shebang? Or is it just going to be for a short amount of time until you figure out what else you want to do? Share this with your partner, whether they're open to it or not. Come with an open heart and at the right time, not like while they're making dinner or like when they're exhausted, but have a nice little takeout Thai food delivered and figure it out with them because their input and into this design is so important. Or maybe you want to design together. I don't know how your like dynamic is, but write it down and share. I would be remiss if I did not tell you about contingencies as well. I've got 4 Ds for you. What do we do in death, divorce, disability, or de-jobbing? Okay, I didn't have a D for losing your job, but we want to talk about the stuff, the stuff that we don't like to talk about because the stakes are high when there's one income earner. And so you might want to plan, like, should we get life insurance that covers his income? Should we get disability insurance, or does that already come with the healthcare plan or the group insurance plans of that employer, or do we need to go get some? What happens if we divorce? And just to let you know, I'm a stay-at-home parent, but I still have my Roth IRA. I still have my name on this house. I still got cars in my name. I got degrees in my name. I'm covered, and you can be too. We don't have to be in the 1960s in that way anymore, where like women don't even own checking accounts, okay? You can have your own stuff and still be in an equitable, wonderful partnership that's relatively traditional if that's what you want to do. But either way, contingency, baby, protect yourself and think about these things with your partner as well. And finally, you want to review it and do it. You actually have to do your plan. You can review it with me. I'm a certified financial coach and I want to be certified financial planner, but you can also review it with a trusted friend, with someone who's good with money, someone who's not going to judge you for your decision, and or find another financial coach, whatever you want to do, but review it and do it because seriously, it's going to be one of the best decisions of your life. I think so. And even if you don't do it right now, you can at least think about how you can get there and get one step closer to having your dreams come true because I'm with you. I'm with you, friend. Okay, so that's it. Oh, wait, it's not it. I have a bonus. Acquire or maintain a marketable skill. Listen, people, there are moms, like I run a homeschool group. There are moms who literally just cook and clean and watch their kids and they don't want to do a thing else. And I'm like, more power to you, girl. That could never be me. So, what I want to say is even if you're at home and even if you're in a very busy season with lots of kids, you have something to offer the world. You could have a marketable skill that if things got very tight, if you decided that the finances were a little too wound up, you can make money on the side. In my group, I have seen so many like photographers, florists, people doing online courses, picking up side gigs all over the place, pet sitting, laundry service. There's a lot of things that you can do on the side to earn extra income if things get tough, or if you just want to change a pace and your kids are older or whatever. So you do you, boo, and get that marketable skill. Well, that's it for me, guys. I'm so glad that you're here. This is Alton Financial, and I so appreciate if you like this content to share it with a person that you love who also wants to stay at home with their kids and doesn't really know if it's financially viable. So thank you for watching. See you later.